I just got done seeing Godzilla Minus One, and this is one of the best Godzilla films ever made. Godzilla Minus One is directed by Takashi Yamazaki. He does a wonderful job with this period piece. This harkens back to the origins of Gojira, the original one. And this is a very special 70th anniversary project, I must say. This is probably the best Godzilla film I have seen in my life. Seriously, it's up there with the original. It goes back to what made Godzilla special to begin with. You have some serious movies, you have some silly movies. Some where he fights other monsters like King Ghidorah and Mechagodzilla. The best Godzilla films explore themes of war. And I have to say, this is a beautiful, beautiful film that I think should be considered for some awards. Seriously. The way this is shot is just so well done with the cinematography and the score. Imagine Jurassic Park rolled in with Jaws, Dunkirk, and the world of Gojira, of Godzilla. And that's what you get with this film. Such a powerful film where you actually care about the human characters. Going back to Godzilla, I grew up watching Godzilla films on VHS. I always loved watching King of the Monsters, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. I used to get the toys, and I was really getting into Godzilla when the 1998 American film came out. Zilla, I know. I watched that film, the cartoon. My brother took me to go see that. And then as far as Toho, my father took me to go see Godzilla 2000 when it came out. Let's get ready to crumble, you know. And that was such an exciting film, and I loved it. But back then in America, they had dubbed versions. I was so happy to see that this film had subtitles and it was its original version. And I must say, it's great that they made it a period piece. We follow this character who's a kamikaze pilot. And he survived the war, but he had an encounter with Godzilla. And I have to say, this is the first time in my life that I've been terrified and scared of Godzilla. He is a monster in this. He is a god that is unstoppable in this film with no motive. He is scary. There's a level of scope that I have not seen in any other film, really. There are moments that are purely terrifying. Just loved seeing this on the big screen with the sound design, how they did his roar, and certain moments in the film harken back to previous films. I love the effects of post-war here in Japan. You know, Japan in this film is at its lowest moment post-World War II, and this kamikaze pilot survives not only the war, but his encounter with Godzilla. He goes back home, and everything's just in shambles. He meets this woman who has a kid that's not her own. So the three of them kind of create a familial bond. He then tries to find work. He creates bond with other people. And upon living life, he feels like he doesn't deserve to survive with his fellow men dying, and he could have done something to stop it. That's where it gets interesting in this film, because you deal with the PTSD effects of war and the cost of it on not only individuals, but with a country, you know, when there's war. And I like the themes here because it harkens back to the dangers of not only war itself, but atomic war. And that's where Godzilla comes in. And once Godzilla comes in, it is an insane film. You know, it's kind of crazy how far we've come in technology. This is so much better than the Hollywood films. Back then on Toho, you used to have a guy in a rubber suit. Now you have CGI, and it doesn't look like fake CGI. This was made with a $15 million budget and looks better than some $300 million budgets films this year. Seriously, this is just a phenomenal film. And I think if you're a Godzilla fan, you need to see this in cinemas in IMAX. I saw it in Cinema XD. You need to see this in the cinema. This is definitely worthy of a Blu-ray. And I just love the characters in this, because in the American version, the closest I felt outside the 98 film was Bryan Cranston's character in 2014. And once he was out, I didn't care about anyone. This one, you have that level of caring about the characters. Their stuff was just as interesting as Godzilla terrorizing a city. And I didn't want anything bad to happen to them. There's emotional, heartbreaking moments in this film that just move you. This is how you do it. Hollywood has not done it right with Godzilla. Toho, the Japanese Godzilla films, do it best. And this has something that not only previous Godzilla films are missing, this has something that previous blockbusters lately have been missing. A great story with well-written characters, heart. You don't have dumbed down jokes. It's just movie magic at its finest. Toho and Takashi Yamazaki have done a wonderful job bringing us a new Godzilla for his 70th anniversary. The best way I can describe it is if, like, you're a King Kong fan, you see Peter Jackson's, how there's been plenty of King Kong remakes and incarnations, but you see Peter Jackson's and it goes back to what made the original 30s film special and that kind of feeling. That's how I felt with Godzilla Minus One to Gojira, the original film, while also mixing in stuff that is new, you know? And I was not bored. It went by so fast for 2 hours and 5 minutes, and I was just on the edge of my seat from start to finish. I give this a 5 out of 5 and an A+. I highly recommend seeing this. This is one of the best films of the year. I think even for non-fans, I think they will love this film. And you know, after seeing some of the American remakes, this left me with a great feeling when I got out of the cinema. Like, I just watched a damn good movie, you know? I would go watch it again in cinemas. I'm definitely going to get this on 4K Blu-ray. It is that good. Let me know if you've seen Godzilla Minus One. Let me know your relation to Godzilla, you know? Let me know how the fandom started, again, down in the comments below. In the meantime, you can check out these other videos for more content. Stay safe and healthy, everyone. Till next time.